Welcome to Daytime Ottawa. Hope you had a fantastic long weekend. And guess what? We have a fantastic lineup for you today. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a lot of live events. Live events are coming back in full here in Ottawa. And my first guest here today has a wonderful live event to share with you. I'm joined by Geoffrey Dollar. He is the Outreach Communications and Production Coordinator for ArohaFest and Aroha Fine Arts. Welcome, Geoffrey. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, you and I were just having a wonderful conversation, just talking about, back in person. No matter what type of artist you are, you're excited to be back in person. Tell me how it feels for you and your team.
Absolutely. I mean, ArohaFest was actually quite successful at pivoting to a digital platform. And our partnership with the National Arts Centre made that transition very, very easy. But now coming back to live, it just feels so different, but also so exhilarating. We've had all these projects in mind, and we're just so happy to be able to bring them to the public once again.
Tell me the history behind the festival and Aroha in general.
Absolutely. So ArohaFest started in 2017. It was established by the artistic director and founder Anjali Patilji, and it was done as a means of celebrating Canada's 150th birthday, and a way also to create a platform for Southeast Asian dance and Indian culture in Canada, a way to make it shine, but also a way for Anjali to give back to the community.
Nice. How did you get involved and why?
Well, I'm a professional dancer myself, trained in ballroom and contemporary dance, and I fell backwards into Southeast Asian culture and the classical Indian dance scene. My first guru, Savita Sharma, she introduced me to Indian dance. I got involved into the community, and now I just love the culture, I love the community, I love the art, and I want to do what I can to support it.
Well, let's talk about the festival itself, and let's talk specifically about the evening programming. I know you're really excited about it.
Absolutely. We have a wonderful lineup planned. We can talk about the free events happening in the public spaces a little bit later, but the main event is a dance performance featuring classical Indian dance, three forms to be precise: Kathak, Odissi, and Bharatanatyam. We have three performances lined up. The first, the founder, Anjali Patil, is presenting a piece called Nishta. It's Kathak, North Indian dance, followed by our guest will be here with us a little bit later, Aishwarya Vijay Kumar and Stuti Mukherjee, presenting classical Bharatanatyam repertoire. And finally, we have a contemporary work which combines two styles, Odissi dance and Bharatanatyam, offered by Sonia Saint-Michel and Julie Beaulieu.
And the popularity has grown. Why do you think it has grown so incredibly over? And I'm talking about globally, not just, obviously here in Ottawa, but globally.
Absolutely. I would say that, and this is certainly something that I resonated with Indian dance, is that it speaks to such a large audience, and there's so much within it. There's a lot of technical precision, there's a lot of physicality, but there's also a lot of meaning and a lot of emotion as well. Some of it draws from spirituality, some of it draws from theatrical expression. I really do believe that there's something for everyone to enjoy within any kind of classical Indian dance.
You mentioned some of the free programming. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's a big event. The event starts at 1 p.m. in the public spaces of the National Arts Centre. We have a lineup filled with workshops. We have a yoga workshop, and it's also a lecture talking about the essence of yoga. There's going to be a Bollywood workshop, a Bhangra workshop, and a Lavani folk dance workshop as well. And then we have a visual arts exhibit offered in the public space, henna painting, which is just a very quintessential part of any.
My daughter does it. Her friends love doing it.
Any Indian celebration, henna is always a big part. And we wrap up the public events with a concert offered by Hardeep Bakshi, who's a local ghazal, semi-classical Indian musician and composer.
Your theme this year is Diwali. Let's talk about Diwali. First of all, maybe I'm sure everybody's familiar with, when they hear it, but describe it to our viewers.
Absolutely. Well, Diwali is the festival of lights, to put it simply, but it represents a lot for many different Southeast Asian cultures and different religions. Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, Hindus, they all celebrate Diwali in their own way, but it is such a massive celebration, and it's gone global as well, along with classical Indian dance. And it's just that. It's all about sharing light with people around us, sharing something positive from within us, and wanting to allow that light to continue burning. A symbol of Diwali is, of course, the diya, the little oil lamp.
Right.
And we pass on that flame, essentially. And I do think that that's what the festival is about as well, passing on this flame that's been burning inside all all these artists over the past 3 years and wanting to finally be able to share it with the audiences.
Well, you brought a couple of dancers along with you today. Tell me a little bit about them and what we're going to see in their upcoming performance here.
Absolutely. So the dancers that are here today, they're going to share an excerpt of a piece called Devi Stuti Katidavi Devargale, and it is a kirtanam. A kirtanam is a segment of a much longer Carnatic music composition.
Okay.
And both dancers are going to depict the goddess Parvati, and she is often seen holding a lotus. She's seen holding different weapons in her various arms. She's known to ride a lion, and she's known to destroy all the evil that's both within us and around us. So in this piece, I think the dancers really just want to promote the divinity, the strength that is feminine energy, also known as Shakti. And so I'll leave it to my colleagues, Aishwarya Vijay Kumarji and Stuti Mukherjee, to share the short excerpt with you.
Is there always a story behind the dancing that we see at this festival? Like, should viewers be looking for something, during each performance?
At times in Indian dance, mudras or hand gestures are used to depict certain things or
Right.
to tell a story, where at other times it's just that it's technical movement and it's meant to be just a display of physicality. So there's a bit of both. Sometimes you
Okay.
can see a very clear story, which will be shown by the facial expressions and the hand movements, and other times you'll just be wowed and fascinated by the agility and the physical ability of the dancers.
Well, let's wow our viewers, and you and I step aside, and we'll bring our dancers out. Come on out here.
Sounds great. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
You're welcome.
சங்கரனுடன் ஆடி இன்னல்களை தீர்க்கும் இச்சாசக்தியே சரணமம்மா இடமமர்ந்து அவ